Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Sorry if I sound a little bit sick. I have had the flu the past like few weeks. It's not COVID because my nose is still really blocked and stuff, but yeah, just bear with me through this video. This is like the first day that I've felt alright in the past like couple of weeks. Yeah, as you guys can see by the title of this video, this is a wedding Q&A, which is the next little video in my little wedding series that I'm doing here on my channel. If you have missed my other, I think it's 3 videos in my wedding playlist, I'll leave it down below and in the eye as well so you guys can go and catch up. I've started to reveal a little bit more about what my wedding day is actually going to look like. I thought it would be fun to do a Q&A, so I asked you guys on my Instagram and my stories to send in your questions that you guys had about my wedding, and you guys sent in quite a lot, so I'm gonna sit here and answer them today. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the questions. So the first question is, what's an item you're splurging on and an item you're saving on? So I really liked this question. At the beginning of when Phil and I were planning our wedding, we wrote down a list of everything that we had to pay for and what we wanted to spend more money on and what we wanted to spend less money on. So a couple of items that we are splurging on is our venue and our photographer and videographer, because we wanted a really beautiful venue and we wanted really good quality photos and a good quality video from our wedding. A couple of items that we're saving on is our officiant, because our officiant is our pastor, so he is actually not charging us anything, which is really cool, and decor as well. I really don't want to be spending a lot on decor either. Will you be getting your wedding filmed? So I kind of already answered that. Yes, we will be. We've actually just booked our videographer as well. I really love his work. He is amazing, and I really wanted a video to be able to watch and look back on, just so that like when I get older I can remember it. Yeah, just one of those things that I would recommend spending the money on, just because I feel like photos can only do so much from a wedding. So I had 2 different people ask me this next question, and that is, how many people are invited? So I would say our wedding is quite big in the schemes of weddings. So we're having around 100 people coming. We do have some family from Aussie, so I believe now the borders are open between New Zealand and Australia. This next question I quite liked because it kind of ties in with the previous question. How do you know who to invite? So basically the people on our guest lists, I would say a good half of them are family members of mine or Phil's. A lot of people that we have got coming are friends from church, and then obviously we do have a lot of our close friends that are coming who don't go to our church. Our engagement party was a big test for us to see who we would invite to our wedding and who we wouldn't. We did a big guest list for our engagement party. There are a few people that couldn't go who messaged us to say that they couldn't go and why they couldn't go. So those people we are still inviting to our wedding, but there are a few people that just put can't go or put going, that didn't bother to show up or didn't bother to message us why they weren't going to come. So that's kind of how we've done it. You don't want to invite everyone under the sun because obviously catering gets really expensive. We've got a lot of kids coming to our wedding as well, so I know some people do no kids, but I personally love kids and I don't think a wedding is a wedding without them. So yeah, we really wanted to give them the invite and then the parents have the option on whether they want to bring them or not. Sorry if I'm in a slightly different position. I just went to go get some water because my throat is really struggling. You can probably hear it by my voice. Where do you seat everyone for the dinner? So basically Phil and I are just going to do like a big seating chart of where everyone is going to sit. I just want to put people with people that they know and maybe a couple of people that they don't know, just so that they can kind of chat and mingle. How did you budget for your wedding? So I feel like budgeting for a wedding is really difficult. We're trying not to spend too much in the way of the actual wedding, and like I said before, we're wanting to budget and spend money on things that we really value and just kind of cut costs. We're trying to do a lot of it ourselves, which does help to save a lot of money, and obviously we've got family members doing different things, so that's a good way that you can cut costs as well. I basically put most of my money that I get each week after my bills into my savings for our wedding, and I leave myself like a very tiny amount of money to spend over the week. So yeah, pretty much just saving what we can. 1 dress or 2. So I'm probably just going to be having 1 dress. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on 2 different dresses that I'm only going to wear for like half a day. I feel like if I'm going to spend a bit of money on a wedding dress, I really want it to be one that I wear for the whole day, because I pretty much will never wear it again. How much alcohol will you put on a tab, or will you put any on at all? Yes, I will be putting alcohol on a tab. So our reception venue has a minimum bar tab. Most places that you go when you're looking for wedding venues will have a minimum drinks tab that you have to pay. So some places we've been, it's like $40, other places we've been, it's like, you know, a couple hundred, and other places it's like up in the grands. I think you've got to think about how many guests you're having as well, and how many of them are big drinkers, or how many of them will actually like have a drink or two at your wedding, and how much you will have as well. So Phil and I personally are just going to be paying our minimum bar tab. I'm not going to say exactly just yet how much our minimum bar tab is. I might do a video closer to our wedding of how much we've spent on our wedding, and what our minimum tabs and stuff were, and our maximum, and how much everything is going to cost. If you guys would be interested in that video too, let me know down below, because I can definitely film that. Yeah, our bar tab is a decent amount of money. So the people that are catering your wedding, they kind of count up every time someone has a drink. So for example, say you start off with 4 bottles of wine, so they all are like $40 each. So what's that, 160? Say you go through 4 bottles of wine and everyone has like a couple glasses of the wine. A couple people have a couple glasses of Coke, which are $5 each. So then you get to $170, and your tab kind of just racks up like that until you hit your minimum bar tab. So the people that are catering your wedding will let you know when you're close, and you can either choose to put more money on the bar tab, or if you don't want to spend any more money on it, after that it goes to what's called a cash bar, which is basically where like from then on out people will have to pay for extra drinks that they have. I think if you don't quite hit your minimum bar tab, you can take bottles of wine home, or you can just get extra drinks and stuff. So that's kind of how we're working it. So we're just going to pay our minimum bar tab, and then I don't think we'll go over it, because I know there are a couple of big drinkers at our wedding, but it's not like everyone's a big drinker. So once we hit that bar tab, then we will just be going to a cash bar. I am a big believer in the fact that Christians can drink alcohol. There isn't actually anywhere in the Bible that says you can't drink alcohol. A lot of people just choose not to because they've either been in a family where addiction has been a big thing. People may have drunken alcohol and then got violent, or some people just don't like the taste. Some people are allergic to it. There's multiple different reasons why Christians will or won't drink alcohol. I personally do drink alcohol. I have just tried recently, since becoming a Christian, not to get drunk. Oh, this question we've kind of already had, but it was, will you be filming on your wedding day? So I personally won't be filming, but yeah, we've got a videographer who will be filming our wedding day for us. I quite liked this question too. Have you been getting loads of questions about when you are going to have kids from family/friends? Not necessarily from family, I don't think. My mum definitely doesn't want me to have kids yet, but I know it's not up to her, it's up to me. But I think mostly it's just from friends, because obviously like once you get engaged, usually people get married quite quick and then have kids quite quick. At least that's how it happens in Christian households. But yeah, not so much from family, which is quite surprising. Will you be doing wedding favors? So basically, if you don't know what wedding favors are, they are like little gifts that your guests get to take home. So I don't think Phil and I have actually talked about this. I would like to do something small, but yeah, I will have to double check with Phil. So I liked this question too. It says, what things are you doing with your bridal party before the big day for bonding? So the people in my bridal party I've mentioned before, but in case you are new to my channel and this is the first video that you're watching from me, I will be having my 2 younger sisters and my best friend Rachel. So Rachel has been my best friend basically since we were 13, and I'm now 23. So my sisters and Rachel have like pretty much grown up together. I don't really think there'll be a lot of like bonding that will be needed. I am gonna do like a hens weekend where I invite like a whole bunch of girls and we go out and do a bunch of fun stuff, and then the night before the wedding I will be renting a like hotel or motel room closer to our wedding ceremony location, and we'll be staying there and probably just having like a girls night. I'll probably watch like a few like wedding related movies, have like some nice platters, and we'll be getting breakfast in the morning together, which will be really nice. That's kind of my plan. Will your wedding be in the morning or the afternoon? So we're having an afternoon wedding. I don't really like the idea of a morning wedding. I can definitely see the point with it, because then it's like you just get catered for lunch rather than for like dinner. But I personally would prefer to have the morning like getting ready for the wedding, because if your wedding was early in the morning, you'd have to get up really early in the morning to get ready, and I'm not a morning person, so I want to have like a little bit of a sleep in before I like get my hair and makeup done, and before we take photos, and before I get into my dress. So yeah, I'm not gonna say the time of our wedding, but it is in the, I would say, the late afternoon. Not quite early evening, but the late afternoon. So our reception is starting in the late afternoon and will probably go till about midnight. This one says, not a question, but talk about the honeymoon plan. So I really didn't want to mention what we're doing for our honeymoon until we've booked it all, but we wanted our honeymoon to be local in New Zealand, just in case like the borders end up closing, or you know, we can't go like overseas, or in case like we drop levels. Still wanted to be able to have our honeymoon, and we thought if we just have it local to New Zealand, it's probably the safe bet. I guess I can kind of tell you guys what we're planning. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because obviously we haven't booked anything yet, but there might be a slight break between our wedding and our honeymoon depending where we're at financially as well. But our plan for our honeymoon is that we're going to go right from the top of New Zealand right to the bottom. We're not going to Stewart Island. I did discuss this with Phil, but we thought we'd save that for a different trip. So we're gonna go as high as Kaitaia and Cape Reinga, all the way down to Invercargill. Phil and I planned this together. It was actually his idea, but it was something that I had been wanting to do for a while. We're gonna be renting a camper van or a caravan depending, and going from top of New Zealand right to the bottom, which I think will be really fun, because I feel like you can't really go to another country until you've seen your own, and the best way to tour New Zealand is by a roadie. Yeah, we've basically planned out exactly what we want to do and pretty much our whole itinerary of what we're gonna do. I am planning on vlogging the honeymoon, but yeah, I'll let you guys know when that is happening, because I will be taking quite a decent amount of time off YouTube because there's a lot we want to do. A lot of our activities are free. A lot of them will be like walks or bike rides, and those kind of things, but yeah, there are a few things that will cost a little bit more money. So yeah, a little bit closer to the time I will reveal probably a few of the places that I'm most excited for. Do you have a date yet? So yes, we do have a date. It is next year. I'm not going to say when, obviously for privacy reasons, but it is in the first half of the year, so between January and June, and it is in autumn. So that's all I'm going to say. Dress inspo. I feel like it's so hard to be like, I want this dress, because I feel like a lot of the time when girls go in to try on dresses, they end up liking something completely different. But I can put some pictures on the screen of some of my dress inspo pictures. Basically, I want something that is white. I want something with a little bit of lace. I want something with quite a long train, and I get cold quite easily, so I would ideally like a really thin long sleeve or something with sleeves. But yeah, I do plan to vlog me going and trying on wedding dresses. What is your max budget for the wedding? If you guys don't know, weddings are really expensive. I'm gonna look up, where's my phone? The average cost of a wedding in New Zealand. Hold up. Okay, so your average New Zealand wedding will cost you $30,000. That's a lot of money. Excluding our honeymoon, I really don't want to spend over 20 grand, potentially 25 grand, but I definitely don't want to be over 25 grand. Like, that is the most that I want to spend on our wedding overall. They are really expensive, and there are ways that you can cut costs. And then the last question that I got is, have you picked a theme for the decor? By the way, sorry, I've been looking down, it's all been written down in my little book. Yes, we have picked a theme for the decor. Obviously our wedding is in autumn, so our wedding decor is basically just going to be very autumnal. I feel like a lot of it will be quite natural. We'll have a little bit of wood in there, a little bit of glass, and I really want to have like white candles. So yeah, that's kind of our theme for the wedding. I think it'll look really pretty. I might have little touches of green in there. There is going to be touches of gold in there. Again, I'll be able to show you guys a little bit more as we buy a little bit more for our wedding and prep a little bit more. I'm definitely getting excited. There's a lot of work that goes into one day, but it'll be so worth it, and I'm literally so excited to bring you guys along on this journey with me. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go to big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Please make sure to turn on the notifications and check out my social media. It's always linked down below in the description box. I feel like potentially this could have been a little bit more of a shorter video, so hopefully you guys don't mind. And yeah, like I said before, if you've missed any of my previous wedding videos, then I'll leave that playlist down below. I have no idea what my next wedding video will be. Yeah, I literally can't wait for you guys to see. I still have so many ideas of things that I want to do, things that I want to vlog for you, but again, if you've got any suggestions, please leave them down below as well, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!